What's up, friends? Chook here, and welcome to Dungeon Clawler. This is a pretty cool indie roguelike that has just come out. A demo has come out. I think the real game, the full game I should say, is coming out in Q3, I believe. But there is a demo available on Steam now, which you can go play, which is what we're about to play if you enjoy this. And yeah, it's a roguelike, but it's all about using a claw machine. It's fairly unique and it's pretty fun. And I just thought I would play a round of it and show you guys. And if it's something you want to look forward to getting, you can put on your wish list or anything like that. But there's not much in the way of options. There's no sound effects whatsoever. All there is music volume, and then you've got resolution and language and game speed, and that is it. So let's get started. Delete save, and we'll start a fresh one. Okay, collect items using your claws to fight enemies. Hover over your mouse to cursor over things to get more information. Use WASD to move the map. On the map, use A and D to move your claw. Press spacebar to drop the claw. Press spacebar again to close the claw manually if you want to. Press backspace to skip your turn, optionally if you want to. You can change the game speed in the settings. Change the game speed makes the game speed up, but it also makes your claw move faster. I found it was very hard to play if you sped the game up, so we're just going to play on normal. In the future, they'll be able to craft clothes with corrected fluff. I'll explain that in a sec, but it has no function just yet. Let's get into it. And here's the roguelike element. You have a map that you can go on. This one is straight. We have 100 health, 0 money, and 0 fluff. In the demo, fluff does literally nothing, so don't worry about it, but I'll explain it as we go. So you go to your first fight, effectively, and this is the game. So this is us down here, where this like weird rabbit looking dude, he's pretty cool. And these are our enemies. This guy obviously has 22 health, and he's going to attack us for 11. This guy has 22 health, he's going to attack us for 6, and he's also going to put a block up for his next turn. We go first, we have 2 claws. So we have 2 turns, effectively, 2 claws, and it's their turn. So ideally, we would need to get 16 block to block all of their attacks, and also try and do some damage towards them as well. This is what our deck currently is, so we'll go through it. We have a dagger, we have 10 daggers, so you can count them in there if you want, but there's 10 of them, up to 10 of them. Not everything in your deck is placed into the playing field. Each turn, more stuff gets added, so everything in here may not be everything here, especially as you collect more things. They're not always available, but daggers. Attacks the nearest enemy for 6 damage, pretty self-explanatory. Small shield blocks 10. The small sword attacks the nearest enemy for 8 damage, but if you pick it up by itself, it doubles that damage to 16. So the sword is not out there at the moment. But yeah, if you pick the sword up along with other stuff, it does 8 damage. Pick it up by itself, it doubles the damage to 16. Conversely, the shield does the same kind of thing, but for shield, it blocks 15. But when you pick it up by itself, it doubles that to 30. And then the piggy bank gives you money. Also on the items down here, where my mouse roughly is right here, I don't know why it's hovering there, that's kind of funny. There is a little icon that looks like a little steel nut or something. That means that this thing is metal. A dagger is metal, a shield is wood, that is metal, that is wood, and that is plastic, I'm assuming. Yes, plastic, kind of funny that's still there. Anyway, that will become apparent later as well. These little things are fluff. As I said, at the moment, they don't do anything, but they can be modified to do something in the game, and we'll get to that should that come up. So to start with, we basically want to get 16 block if we can, and then we can start doing damage. If this big shield here is 15 block, if we pick it up by itself, we get 30 block. But considering they're only going to do 16 damage, we could just go down here and try and get some block and maybe some damage. So here we might be able to get 2 shields and this dagger. This is like a good spot to try it for maybe. And you put your claw down and you pick up, we got 3 shields, we dropped 1. So we got the dagger, a piece of fluff, which does nothing, and then 2 shields. So we got 20 block. So we're definitely going to block their attacks. Now we can try and kill this guy by going as much damage as we can. There's a crap load of daggers here, plus a piggy bank. So we're going to go for that, and hopefully that's enough to kill him. It's a bit jarring without sound effects, but, you know, the gameplay is there, and this is just a demo. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this. I've played this through twice. I got to the second, on the first time I played it, I got to the second boss and died, and the second time I played it, I completed the whole thing. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited to see what happens with it more. Now, this guy's only attack is for 6, but he has 7 shield, and he has 16 health. So that's effectively 23 health. So we need to get through 23 of him to kill him, and we need to block ourselves for 6. So really, we only need to pick up 1 shield, really, to block his damage, because it's a 10 shield. So we're going to try and pick up this shield, and then get these 2 daggers to do some attack as well, and we nailed it. And then he's got 11 health. These daggers do 6 each, so if we can pick up 2 daggers, he's dead. And we have enough shield to block, so we're going all for damage here. This should be enough to pick those 2 up. And that will be that. First battle done. And that is the basis of the game. Obviously, there's different enemies that do different things, and all of that sort of stuff, but that's the basis of the gameplay. There's some RNG elements into it, depending on how the physics of the claw works. Sometimes you pick things up and you drop them. Sometimes you don't pick things up and you kind of knock them and they go flying and they fall into your little chute. It's pretty cool, but there is some RNG to it, and there's some other things that can adjust that as well. So every time you complete a mission or a battle, you get to pick a reward. And the rewards are as follows for this round. Brass Knuckles attacks the first enemy for 2 damage. So 2 damage is pretty crap. Our daggers do 6. It's only 2 damage, but we get 1 dodge. Dodge goes before block. So if we had 8,000 block here, and we had 1 dodge, the character attacking us would take the dodge before it started onto the block, which is just the priority of it. But dodge is pretty cool, because if someone's hitting you for 8,000 damage and you only have 10 block, you go, okay, well, I'm going to take 7,990, whatever the did's damage. But dodge will dodge the entire attack. So that's not bad. Energy drink I've never used. Converts all your block into strength at a 1-2 conversion rate. I'm assuming how this would work is it will be something that will go into the pool of items that you can pick up with the crane. And at the moment we have 10 block, right? So if there was a turn where we didn't need to block, we could then pick this up and it would change that 10 defense into 10 attack. And then Ring of Strength increases your strength by 2. So I think the dodge is pretty good. I'm gonna grab the dodge because it's, you know, one of my go-to sayings on Twitch when I'm streaming and things that people quote me and stuff is I say, you can't kill shit if you're dead. So if you've got 1 HP, you're still doing damage. If you're dead, you can't do anything. So a dodge keeps you alive. It's pretty important and it's pretty good. For instance, if we were to get that dodge right now, one of these attacks would just miss us and it's great. But as it turns out, that's only 22 damage, which is only, if we get 2 shields, that's 20 damage. 20 shields, sorry. So we could definitely do that. So we could go for down here, try and get some shields and some daggers here all together. See how that works. And we dropped the sword. That would have been good, but it's fine. Now, if we can kill this dude, we don't need to worry about blocking it. Otherwise, we're going to take 2 damage if we don't get another shield, which is not a big problem. But we could just come over here and get this free dagger and... actually, let's have a think. Maybe we go for this shield here and this dagger and we get the piggy bank as well. Money in this game is really hard to get and it's quite good. You can upgrade your stuff at blacksmiths and do other things with money, but it's quite hard to get. So if I see a piggy bank and it's gettable, I might try and go for it. And we got a dagger and no, we dropped the dagger. All right, well, that's fine. We don't take any damage from these guys. They can't heal or anything, so they're just gonna do their attacks. We're not gonna get hit for anything, and we just rinse and repeat. So over here is a bunch of daggers and some shields. Sometimes it's hard to get the thing clawed down the side of the wall. It like scrapes the wall and kind of like that and can stuff you up. A little bit like that. But yeah, you just got to be careful, I guess. And 2 daggers will kill him. There's 3 daggers right here and there's a sword. I think if we go down here, we're probably okay. We should get some form of good damage. Okay, we got like the absolute king of grabs there. We might even... No, we won't be able to kill the other guy as well. Do a fair amount of damage to him though. And now we just need 2 daggers, or the sword, and he's dead. I'll try and pick up the sword by itself to show you how that works. You could, as I said when I was explaining at the start, you can press spacebar again early to close your claw early to like try and pinpoint things, just like this. So instead of going all the way down and getting that shield, I just could grab the sword by itself. Okay, we have a shuriken. Applies 5 poison damage to the last enemy. The way poison works in this game is that would apply 5 poison to the furthest enemy on the list. And then the next turn it would be 4, and the next turn it would be 3, and the next turn 2, 1, etc. So every turn, one of the poison drops off. So in total, that's 5 damage plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, plus 1. So it's quite a bit of damage just ticking on the furthest enemy. And sometimes in this game, they'll put like a kind of a dodgy enemy at the back, an annoying enemy at the back that's hard to kill. So I quite liked poison when I was using it. Magic Wand, I feel, is kind of trash. It attacks the last enemy for 5, which is basically the same as Shuriken, but Shuriken then hits the next turn for 4, and then next for 3, etc. But it heals you for 2. But like 2 health isn't really that big of a deal. If you picked it up by itself, it would be 10 damage of 4 heal, which is better, but I still don't think it's that great. And we already have a big shield. So I'm gonna go for the Shuriken, because as I said, I thought it was quite good. This is a reward room. We just get to pick one of 2 rewards, providing we can actually grab it. So, heal 5 health after each fight. That's not terrible. It's 5 health for free after every single fight. That's just good. Like, it's not the best thing ever, but it's good. Or, the first item used... Wait, the first item is used twice. I mean... Yes. I'm assuming... I haven't had this before. I'm assuming it means that if you pick up, like, 4 daggers... the first one's going to do 12 damage, and then the other 3 is still going to do 6. Or if you pick up a dagger and 2 shields, and one of the shields comes first, you're going to get 20 block instead of 10. And then the other 2 are just normal. So the very first thing that comes through each claw, maybe? I don't know. Let's try this. And these are also health potions. So if you're hurt and you need to heal instead, you could just go for a bunch of health potions. We might get both here. We might not get anything. That was the worst claw of all time. We managed to just get it, but that was not convincing. I apologize. The first item is used twice. Continue. So that's a permanent buff that we have every round. So let's test this. This shield, right? This is really interesting. This shield is 15 block. If I pick it up by itself, it's 30 block. If I pick that up as the first item, does that mean it gets used twice, so therefore I get 60 block? Because that's crazy. Let's see. I'll try and pick it up by itself. Nailed it. 2, yeah. Yeah, that's so good. That perk is amazing. All right. Wow, we definitely don't need 60 block. We needed, what, 18? So now we just need to do as much damage as possible. So I see a bunch of daggers and a piggy bank. I'm going to go for that. We have yeeted a dagger. We got 1 dagger. That's alright, we got the piggy bank there. That's so much, shield. Now, this is the thing. The first item used twice. Is it just the first item of the round? Or is it the first item of each turn? Or is it the first item of the battle in general? Because we're in round 2 of however many, right? So is it only the first item on the very first attack? Or is it the first item of each round? Or is it the first item of each claw? I don't know. Let's try and pick up this shield again and see. Do we get double for this? We do. Okay. So let's see if we can pick up some stuff here if they also get doubled. But the first thing also gets doubled. Which is just another shield. No, we only got 1 fluff. So I think it's just the first per round. Which is still good. Alright, we need to start doing some damage to these guys. We've done enough testing. There's a bunch of daggers here. Let's just go in for that. And we dropped 1. But we do get the double shield, so we have more than enough mitigation. Let's go for some daggers. We got 2, 3, 2. That will kill him, which is good. Now we only need 6. We need one small shield per round, or just 22 flat damage to kill this guy. There's nothing super amazing to get. I can go for this sword, I guess. Just go down here and see what we get. We get a sword and a dagger and a shield. That's actually pretty good. The sword goes first. Yeah, double damage. He's dead. He's not dead. He had a lot of shield. We'll just go for the dagger motherload. And get one of them. Just not quite enough. Okay, let's try and get this sword by itself. It's kind of risky because it's not in the best position. Okay, nailed it. So that should be 16 damage doubled. Okay, yeah, it was so much. Okay, poison grenade. Apply 3 poison to all enemies. I've never used this. Morningstar is amazing. Gold dagger is trash. So poison grenade, apply 3 poison to all enemies. That's okay, because it's 3 damage and then the next turn it's 2 and then the next turn it's 1. So overall it's 6 damage across the board, which 6 is not really that much. If they don't have a healer, it's not too bad, but there are healers in the game. Morningstar's really good. Attacks the nearest enemy, dealing damage based on your block. You have 10 block, this does 10 damage. You have 100 block, this does 100 damage. The run that I beat this game with, the demo with, I should say, I had 3 Morningstars, and it was really strong. Gold dagger attacks the nearest enemy, dealing 3 damage plus 1 damage for every 10 coins. We have exactly 10 coins. This is a 4 damage dagger, which is worse than a normal dagger. It's no good. We're going Morningstar because I know the strength of it. I know how good it can be. It is not on the field, so we're not going to worry about it. Let's see if we can get this shuriken though, because we can then get some poison going. He's not attacking us this turn, so we don't need to block. We can focus on damage. Oh, double shuriken, so that's 10 poison? Yeah, that's awesome. That's so lucky that that came first. That is one of the RNG things I was talking about, is that not only do you have the physics of the claw, and sometimes it picks things up or drops things or flings things out or pushes them to the side or whatever it is. When it drops the items, it drops them in a random order, right? So for the Morningstar, which I was just talking about, that goes off your block, let's say you picked up the Morningstar and 2 shields. If the Morningstar comes out first, it's going to do literally 0 damage because you have no shield on already. Whereas if the 2 shields go first, you're going to get 20 shield, and then the Morningstar will do 20 damage. If that makes sense. So the RNG of like what order the items come out can also affect like how good they get, how efficient you are. It's an interesting one. We can get the brass knuckles maybe just to have a block on it, a dodge on us for safety, and get some daggers along the way. I think that's not a bad call. Double dagger. And now he's gonna take 10 poison. Oh, this means he's gonna buff himself. So this spikes times 5 deals 1 damage to the attacker when being attacked. That was the buff he was putting. Now he's just hitting us for 6. So if we pick up this shuriken, by itself it won't double the damage, but if we pick it up first, it's going to do the double stack again, which is really good. So I'm just going to send it down here because there's swords, there's daggers, there's anything that comes up first is going to be handy. Okay, double dagger and shuriken. Hopefully the shuriken drops first. It did not. That's fine. That's still a lot of damage on him. And we're taking 5 damage. So it's 1 damage per stack, and he's got 5 spikes. So we just hit him twice with daggers. Therefore, we took 10 damage. So that's really bad. We could just block forever and let the poison kill this dude, which is not a bad idea. So I'm going to try and do that. We don't want to hit him. We just want to get shields and let the poison do the work, because every time we hit him, we're hurting ourselves. So let's just try and get... Okay, we got 1 shield, which is enough to block him, so that's fine. So in 2 turns, he'll die. He's buffing himself again. I wonder now if I have... I'm going to test this. I have 60 armor. I don't know if this goes through your armor, or it's still... Or if it hits your armor first. I don't know about that. So we're going to test it. I'm just going to pick up maybe this dagger here, because that's a good test. Do we get hit, or does it hit our armor? It hits our armor. Okay, that's not as scary as I thought then. That's fine. Okay, pick your reward. Vaccine. Removes 1 poison at the end of each turn. That's kind of meh, because that's literally just 1 less damage per turn. Like, that's basically worthless. Fluffy increases the amount of fluff in the machine by 10. In the demo, this is worthless. Not worthless, because there is a way that we can make it better later, but for the moment, worthless. Poisonous weapon, each attack applies 1 poison. That's the best of the lot. Or we could reroll for 10 coins. We have exactly 10 coins. We'll just take poisonous weapon. Okay, so we beat the boss of level 1. Now we're up to level 2, floor 2. This is where you need to pick a way to go. So these sword icons are fights. This is a pachinko machine, which, if you don't know what a pachinko machine is, it's one of those things, it's like a gambling thing where you have the item that you want up the top, and then it's got all the little pins, and you need to get it into the basket at the bottom. So you drop it, and it bangs off all the pins, and then it drops into the basket if you're lucky. If not, you miss, and you waste your money. That's basically what the pachinko machine is. It was 2 coins for every attempt, and sometimes, every time I've done this, it's been a different reward. One of it was like heal 5 health. And stuff. I don't think the ones that I've done weren't really worth it. The blacksmith is 100% worth it. So we're going to go for the blacksmith. And that little bit is so you can't go backwards and go to both. So you have to choose one. Alright, this guy's hitting us for 7 and blocking. This guy's healing. So we don't really need much in the way of shields. We do need a lot in the way of damage to get rid of this dude. Hopefully in 1 turn. I see a lot of damage here. So I'm just gonna send it here and see what happens. We should get a bunch of this. Yeah, that's like 3 daggers and a sword. Unfortunately, we got the shield first, but it doesn't really matter. We killed him. He's going to heal nothing. So, he's going to heal himself. So, there's no real point doing much of anything. Let's just... Yeah, there's literally no point in doing anything. Let's just skip our turn. Let him heal. And then now we can go for... 19 damage, so we need 2 small shields or the big shield. The big shield is kind of covered up. We can go for these 2 small shields here and maybe get some daggers with them. We got 8. Oh no, we got 2, and that's double damage, so that's really good. That double damage first thing is nutty. That's so strong. And we've got 20 shields, so now everything we do from here is free. I'm gonna go for the money, because, as I said, money's quite good. I don't think we're going to be able to get anything with the money. Okay, he's healing. So we need to do 27 damage to him if we can. If I could pick this small sword up by itself, it does 8 damage, double to 16, and then it's get used twice, and he's definitely dead. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick that up by itself. I'm just going to send this down and get as much of this as I can. That was decent. That was definitely decent. Unfortunately, the brass knuckles went first, so that does 4 damage, which is not super exciting. But it will be enough. As long as we get 1 dagger here, he should be dead. And there's a dagger here by itself, which seems to be the easiest to get, because yeah, I think this should be fine. Yeah, okay, he's dead. Even if he healed himself, he'd be dead between next turn and the poison anyway, so... But we'll get rid of him now. And pick our reward. We can get another piggy bank, we can get a poison bath bomb, or we can get a magnet. Okay, so piggy bank, we already know what they do. Poison bath bomb turns water into poison water. This is where the fluff comes into it somewhat. So you can get an item, a water bottle item, and what it will do, will flood your playing area. All of the metal items that's why I was describing before, if they were metal or wood or whatever, all of your metal items will sink to the floor, and all of your wooden items will float to the top. It makes getting shields and everything a hell of a lot easier. It makes getting the weapons a lot harder, because as you're going, everything's floating on top, right? And all the weapons are down here. As your claw goes down, it picks up all of the all the wooden things, fill up the claw, so by the time it gets down to pick up the metal, there's nothing to grab onto because it's already grabbed the wood. I've never got the water bottle, but I've had enemies flood my arena. This makes water turn into poison. When that happens, the fluff is now an attack, and the fluff does 1 poison per attack. So the fluff turns from nothing into a 1 poison attack. There's also lava, which turns the fluff into 2 fire attack. Or 2 normal attack, I guess, because, yeah. So that's what I was saying. There are ways to make the fluff do something. Magnet is awesome. Attracts all metal items near it and charges them, increasing their damage by 2. So any dagger that the maggot charges all of a sudden does 8 damage instead of 6. The sword will do 10 damage instead of 8, etc. But what's cool is the magnet charges everything, but it also is a magnet, so everything clumps together. So quite often you could pick one thing up and get 2 or 3 things with it. Magnet is really strong. We're going magnet. We work our way towards that blacksmith. Hopefully we can get some more money before then. So here's the magnet. So everything that's yellow, glowing yellow, is charged. So the brass knuckles now do 4 damage. The sword now does 10 damage, or double, meaning it does 20. And the morning star does 2 more damage than whatever our block is. Here is a dude that is doing 12 damage to us. This guy's doing 25, and he's also adding items to the machine. Every time I've seen this guy, he just adds fluff. Maybe he's got a random thing that he can add, but every time I've seen him, which is twice, he's added fluff. So I think maybe it's just fluff. I'm not too sure. Anyway, we need to block 12 plus 25. That's 37 damage. That's a lot of damage. That's flex tape amount of damage. So we need to go hard on the shields right now to make sure that we don't get hit. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick this by itself. So we're just going to go down here and try and pick up some shields. That's good. And we got double on it. That's huge. So we have 40, which is more than enough. Now we can go for damage. If we get the Morning Star now, it's going to do 40 damage and just kill this guy in 1 hit. So the magnet can be really good, or it can kind of stuff you off a little bit. But we're going to try and get this this Morning Star. And some other stuff if we can. There we go. We got the sword attached to it because it was magnetized. So unfortunately, that 40 damage hit that dude that had hardly any health left, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. He's now doing, yeah, he added fluff. He's now doing, he's also poisoned because our moves, all our attacks do 1 poison. He's still doing 25 damage, so we still need to block, but we also need to do damage of ourselves. Here's some daggers and shields. So let's just put this down here and see what we get. We should be able to get some shields and some daggers. All right, so we either be safe and get another, make sure that we get another shield, therefore we're taking no damage, or we try and kill him with 18 health. We only need 14 because he's poisoned 4 times. Even less because when we hit him, we add another stack. Is there any free damage we can get here that is just going to do a lot of damage to him? There's a bunch of daggers there, but it's covered in a bunch of crap. I don't know if I can get this Morning Star by itself. Or, like, this Morning Star in general. Because the Brass Knuckles might be too... Well, if we get the Brass Knuckles, we dodge. We can go for the Brass Knuckles and the Morning Star. Hopefully get both. But only if we get one. We get the Brass Knuckles, we dodge. So it's not a big deal anyway. Oh, and we got a dagger as well, which I did not see. That might even kill him. No, not quite. So we dodge his attack. And then he's dead next turn because of the poison. So is there a piggy bank anywhere? There is. I don't think I'm gonna... Oh, actually, we got 2... No. If I get the Brass Knuckles, it's going to kill him. I don't think there's any way of me getting this piggy bank. Because this will kill him. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, next. Double-bladed sword. Attacks the nearest enemy for 30 damage, but lose 10 health. Alternatively, the dark sword deals 40 damage to the nearest enemy, lose 5 health. But for each item that gets picked up in the same turn, not including this. So if you pick up the dark sword by itself, you do 40 damage, take no damage. If you pick up a dark sword and a dagger, you will still do 40 damage, but you'll take 5 health. If you pick up a dark sword and 18 daggers, you're going to do 40 damage, but you're also going to do 18 times 5. I mean, so every item along with the dark sword, you take 5 health. You take 5 damage yourself. However, we've got this do double damage for the first thing move. If we were to pick this up by itself on the first turn, that would be 80 damage. Which is, like, super strong. So we're going to get this. Heat gun, I thought might have been alright, but when I tried it, it was actually pretty rubbish. Attacks the last enemy for 2, which is meh. and shrinks one item for you, which just makes an item smaller, which means it's more likely to fit into your claw. The only problem is you can't control what it shrinks, and I think it only shrinks it for one turn. So yeah, heat gun, and it's not the turn that you pick it up, it's the following turn. So heat gun has like a lot of prep to it, and it's just not that great. We're gonna get dark sword. We're gonna go, we have 14 money, we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna upgrade our daggers. We're gonna be able to upgrade 2 of them. If we got one more piggy bank, we would have been able to get 3, but this makes the daggers literally twice as good. So we only have the ability to do daggers or shields. So the shield instead will make a shield into 15 block, which is good instead of 10. But if we can get 2 daggers that are 12 damage instead of 6, and then we pick them up, and that's the first attack that we do, that's a 24 damage dagger. That's pretty damn good. So I was hoping to get more money before we got here, but not the case. Money's really hard to get. That's why that golden dagger that we saw before, that was like, it does 3 damage plus 1 more damage per 10 monies you have. It's so hard to get monies in this game. All right. So this is a kind of a situation I was talking about before, where the last enemy is a bit of a dick. So putting poison on them is quite nice. This guy is going to buff. And we can't really do anything about him. And we got 2 24 health dudes at the front doing 12 damage each. So ideally, we need 24 block at the least. But the dark sword is sitting up begging to be plucked, and it's going to attack twice. So it will just take out this dude and then take out this dude. If I can grab it by itself. Oh, that's almost too sexy to not do, right? So he's dead, and then he's dead. That was like absolutely fucking fantastic. Let's not lie about it. That was amazing. Gold dagger and piggy bank. I'm a simple man. I take it. Get some fluff for good measure. Five coins was really nice. Oh, 10 spikes. That's a bit not okay. The dark sword is there again. Do we dare? I think we dare. Uh-oh. Oh well, we're taking 5 damage. That's not a big deal. Oh, we're taking a lot of damage. How did we have shield? The Morningstar shouldn't have hurt us at all. Okay, well, we just took a lot of damage. That's not the best, actually. Antidote removes all stacks of poison from us, converts all strength into block or poison dagger, attack nearest enemy for 5, and 3 poison. It's not that much worse. It's 1 damage worse than a normal dagger and does poison. And we've already got normal attacks through poison, and we have the shuriken. So we're kind of doing a poison build, as it turns out. We'll grab it. We're coming up to the boss, and I don't think we're going to be able to heal between now and then, which is not ideal. But, you know, it's what happens, I guess. 48, 48, they're both healing. So we have 3 damage here. We have one of 2 options that I see to us. We can either try and get the sword, which will kill him outright. Or we can try and load up on some shields and then get the Morningstar. Unless we can kill them, there's no real point attacking them, because they're just going to heal and we're just wasting our stuff. I'm going to try for the dark sword. And absolutely nailed it. So this dude is going to take 40 and then 40 again. Dead. And now this guy, maybe we just go for brass knuckles, so we've got a dodge. I think that's not a bad call. Okay, 19. We've got a dodge, so that 19 is actually nothing. What can we do here? We could go in here and try and get a double shield and some, so we can get the Morningstar afterwards, and some daggers, because there's quite a few daggers there. That's perfect. That's pretty much exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so we have 20 blocks. So if we get the Morningstar, it's only 20 attack, and he's got 30 health. We're gonna... Oh, we got a dagger here, a golden dagger, and a dagger with the magnets. That might be better. Okay, we'll go down here. We'll see what we get. Oh my god, we got everything. The magnet's so good. Like, look at all this shit. He's got to be dead from there. I haven't done the math on it, but he has to be. There was too many items for him to survive. Okay, here we go. Small sword, we already have one of those. We know what it does. Warhammer. Attacks the nearest enemy for 20 damage. Increases your block by 10. It's just double good. You do damage and you also block. Just good and good. Or another Morningstar. I loaded up, I had 3 Morningstars and it was really strong. However, the Warhammer does 20 damage and gives you block. Also really strong. We already have 1 Morningstar. Let's get 1 Warhammer. I feel like that's not a bad call. This boss fight, if it's the same guy, he's a bit devilish. It's not. It's a completely different dude. What does this guy do? Big Knight. Oh, maybe this was the... I thought this was the first boss. Okay. This guy intends to buff himself or others. It's just him. So this turn, we literally have free reign to do as much damage as we can. There is 8,000 things connected to this magnet. We're not going to be able to pick them all up, but we're going to try and pick some up. We don't really want the Morningstar because we have no shield. So I'm going to try and go a little bit to the right of the Morningstar and just pick all of that up. And we didn't really get much. Give me the dagger first. Yep, good. So we attacked him 3 times, putting 3 poison on him, and then we got the shuriken, which did 5 more poison, which is nice. And we have 10 blocks, so we could get the... Like, there's no way to not get the Morningstar along with all of this. We're just going to have to send it here and hope we get stuff. But we don't want the Dark Sword. Okay, that's alright. That's still a lot of damage. He's got 12 poison, which is awesome. Now, this guy's a bit diggish. Persistent armor. Every time he puts armor on, it doesn't end at the... It doesn't disappear at the end of the turn like ours does. It's a bit of a POS situation. He's also doing 25 damage, so we need to make sure that we block at least 25 or get a dodge. There is no... Oh, there is a dodge on screen. I feel like getting 25 armor is potentially easier because the first thing we pick up is double. So if we were to go over here... Oh, but we can't guarantee it's going to be a shield, can we? I think if I put it here, I might be able to get the shuriken and both of those shields. Maybe. We're going to try. Okay, we didn't, but we got a dagger and a poison dagger as well. That's big dick damage. That's 24 damage because of the double. We only have 10 armor. We really need to get some more armor. He's 22 poison. That's really good. I think we just go down here and try and get some of these shields. Or here, actually. Because we can maybe get some daggers as well. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that was good. We got a heap of daggers. I think we got 3? Yeah, we did. That's really good. That's even more poison for him. The poison build is working quite well. He's taking 25 damage, like, and now 24 damage next turn. He has 25 block, and he's doing 25 attack. He's going to add 25 more block. Poison goes through block. So, ideally, that's 24 damage. Next turn it's 23. Next turn it's 22. Next turn it's 21. If we just stall and block for 4 turns, he'll die and we won't take any damage. That's a valid option. We could always add to it by getting more shurikens or just doing any damage to him will stack that up. But the main thing is we don't want to get hit. So let's try and get our shield situation sorted first. I'll try and get the shuriken as well. I think that was pretty good. Okay, we only got 1 shield. What's going to go first? The shield, hopefully? No, damn it. Although that's 34 damage. Okay, in 3 turns he's dead. We need 2 shields. So this will work. And maybe some poison? And 1 more stack of poison. Nope, never mind. We flung the dagger into the ether. But there's 34 more damage on him. We block that. And 2 turns he's dead. We just need to make sure that we get adequate blockage. Which is that, because the first one's doubled. He's got 50 armor. So, like, we really don't need to worry about attacking him. Let's just go for the money. I think that's smart. I wonder if he still takes a poison tick if it hits his armor. Let's find out. Oh, he does. Nice. Yeah, next turn he's dead. As long as we block. Actually, I don't even think we need to, because I think the poison procs before he gets an attack. But let's do it just to be safe. There's no more money on the field, so yeah, we'll just go shields here. Nothing but shields. Oh, well, actually, no, that's 30. I keep forgetting that the first shield is going to be double. So that's done. Now we can get this Morning Star. I mean, he's got 70 armor. We're not going to get through it, but this Morning Star will do 30 damage because we have 30 block. And dead. Now, when you do complete each level, so that was the end of level 2, floor, sorry, not level, you do fully heal yourself. Spikes, start of each fight with 3 spikes. So that's the thing that I was talking about. That's what that plant thing had before, where when they attack you, when you attack it, you take 3 damage every time you attack me. I attacked it, sorry. It would mean that every time someone attacks me, I get 3 spikes, so you would just load up on armor and let them kill themselves. Master Claw, you only have 1 claw, but each collected item is used twice. I've never seen that. I don't like it though. That's potentially, with this build, ridiculous, because okay, let's use the Dark Sword for example. If you get the Dark Sword as the first item, it's doubled. So it does, because you're not picking anything else up, it does 40 damage. Then because it's the first item, it does another 40 damage. And then this makes it used twice, so that would then be used a 3rd time. So it would be 120 damage. But it would mean that if we were trying to do shields and swords and attacks and everything, we only have 1 claw. I don't like that. The run that I beat this with, I actually got lucky and I got 2 additional claws, and every turn I had 4 claws, and I was just really strong. But not to beat. Increase the amount of items that can get dropped into the machine by 10. I also don't really know how that works. Whether that means we just get more of our items, or that could include fluff, which is not great. I have never tried spikes. I'm going to try spikes. And here is round 3. Now, I don't think we're going to get through a whole gameplay of this, because we're at the start of floor 3 and there's 5 floors, and we're already at 40 minutes. But we'll do a few more attacks. Maybe we'll get up here so I can show you what like the mystery room, what a hard fight looks like, and then maybe we'll end this video here. This was just meant to be a quick sneak preview of the game anyway. We're never going to get through a full run. But yeah, hopefully by now it shows you if this is a game that you would enjoy or not. I think it's pretty cool. Like, it needs some work, and it needs some sound effects and quality of life things in general. But it's just come into a demo. It's not even out in early access yet. So yeah, I think it's quite good. All right, we've got 28 damage and another 2, so that's 30 damage, and this guy's buffing himself. What this guy's buff is, I can tell you, and you can probably tell by the look of him. He gives poison to himself. When he attacks you, he then poisons you. So ideally, knocking one of these guys out would be good. If we can pick up this Warhammer by itself, not only do we do 40 damage, but we also get 20 block, which would be pretty nice. So I'm going to try and pick that up by itself, and have done so. That kills the first guy outright, because we're doing 40 damage. So, see you later. I also had a ability in the run that I beat this with, that when you killed an enemy, it transferred all of its poison stacks to other enemies. That would have been really good in this run. And now we want to do what? We have enough shield, so we don't need shield. We could get 2 daggers here. That's 12 damage. We could get the Morning Star, which is 20 damage. We could try and get a Morning Star and the sword. We'll just go down here and see what we get. Is that going to clinch them both together? Oh, it did. Perfect. That was exactly kind of what I wanted to... Well, exactly kind of. That was exactly what I wanted to do, because that gets rid of him. And then this dude attacks us for 2, hurts himself for 3. And we get poisoned for 1, who cares? And then we go again. So... Warhammer by itself. He's dead. Gold Dagger, terrible. Poison Grenade and Brass Knuckles. Let's reroll. because we're not going to do the full game. So let's just reroll, see if we can find something good. Another magnet or another morning star? I'm going to go another morning star. We get a mystery room. These are just choices that you have to make, and you don't know what the answer is. So you see a small spring in the middle of the room. Is it water? The water emits a fake glow. What do? Do we take a bath, or do we bottle some of the spring water? Or do we walk away? Now, I have had this before, and I bottled some spring water, and it gave me a healing potion as like an item that was in our item pool. And once in a while, you know, like a dagger or whatever, the healing potion would be in there, and we could heal ourselves for 5, I think it was, for the healing potion. So I'm going to take a bath and see what the difference is. We took a bath, and we regained 5 health. So that's a 5 health now. The bottle, if it's the same every single time, was a 5 health potion that you could use in battle. Here is a reward room. It was one of these potions. 20% of your health. So maybe it wasn't the same, but it was definitely a healing potion of some sort. Gain 1 strength every time you receive damage. So how strength works is you'll get a little bonus number here next to your health bar. And it just adds, every time you do damage, it adds that to your damage. So if we took, every time we receive damage, so it's not for the amount we receive, it's just every time we receive damage. So if we get hit for 100, well, we'd be dead. If we get hit for 50, we're still only going to receive 1 strength. We get hit for 1, we're still going to receive 1 strength. It's every time we receive damage, not the amount. Or there's always 20% water inside the machine. So if you had the poison, turn water into poison thing, and there's always 20% water, you would just always have poison fluff, which wouldn't be so bad. I guess we'll just take strength, this strength thing. Or we'll try for it at least. Because I think even when we block, it still counts as us getting hit. And then here's a hard fight. So we have a Mr. Shieldman, who is just shielding himself and doing nothing else. And then we have this dude who is buffing himself or someone else. I can't remember what this buff is. So considering no one's attacking us, we just want to go damage. There's 3 daggers there and a brass knuckles. That's not really that great for the whole double thing first time situation. The Warhammer, if we can get that by itself. Never mind. If it's first, it is first. So that gives him 40 damage and then some extra because of the, well, just extra. I don't know why it was extra actually. Why did he do, it should have been 40 damage. And it was 46 damage. Why was it 40? Oh, the spikes. No, because he didn't attack us. I'm not sure why he took 3 extra damage there, if I'm being honest. He's got 3 poison. I don't know. Did we get something else with the... Nothing would have done 3 damage. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. Either way, whatever. Now we can go for this Morning Star. That's 20 damage. He has exactly 20 health. It looks a bit like a face, or like a bit like a spiky digging balls. And he's dead. Yeah, it did 22 damage. Why are we getting extra 2 damage out of where? Because we haven't been struck yet to get extra strength. I'm not sure why we're doing extra damage. Unless it's counting spikes as armor. Okay, this guy gave him stealth strength. So he's actually doing 8, 16, 24 plus 3. He's doing 27 damage. So we want to get a lot of block here. We could go for the sword first because it's doubled. Damn it, we got a dagger as well. Hopefully the sword's still first there. It is. He's dead. We took 10 damage, but whatever. Ring of Strength, small shield, or a heat gun. Ring of Strength increases your strength by 2, so if you just pick that up as part of your claw, you just get a permanent 2 extra damage for that whole fight. Small shield we already have a bunch of. Heat gun is kind of meh. We can re-roll just to see what options there are, just to see if there's anything different. Lava bomb, so this would turn water into lava. Ideally we would probably want poison because we're doing a poison build, right? But let's just take that because why not? Anyway, that will be enough. This is already a 50-minute video. But there is a look at Dungeon Clawler. Now, if I remember, I will put a link to the Steam store in the description of this video. If not, just look up Dungeon Clawler on Steam. But there's the demo. It is available now. Everyone can go and get it. And let me just quickly check the store page. I believe it's coming out in Q3. Yeah, so there's no actual like time just yet, but it is coming out in Q3. But there you go, Dungeon Clawler, pretty fun. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to see more of this, we can definitely do like if you want to see a full run, like maybe an hour-and-a-half video or 2-hour video or something of it, I can definitely do a full run for you guys. But being the demo, once you complete the run, that's it. You just do another run. There's not any progression or anything like roguelikes normally have that carries over from run to run. But yeah, if you would like to see a full run, let me know and I can definitely do that for you guys. Otherwise, for now, that is it. Thank you all, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye!